Listen to me. If there was a wise man who would ever think of this, they would say in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. For I am the man himself.
Hello, one and all. How you guys doing all on this late Monday afternoon? This is the Club of the Man 1993, and first off, happy Labor Day to all of you. Hopefully, if you did get the day off, because I know a few people that did not get the day off today, hope you are enjoying your extra day off for a nice long 3-day weekend. Or some of you, like some people I work with, may take the week off for an extended vacation. Hope you're having a good time off as well. We are here live to talk about yesterday's WWE Premium Live Event pay-per-view, Clash in Paris 2025. It took place again at the Paris La Défense Arena, I believe is what it's called, in Paris, France. And this is also, of course, the last pay-per-view in the Peacock era for WWE. The next one, WrestlePalooza, will be on ESPN Plus, or whatever they're calling it. Of course, how I'll be watching pay-per-views from now on, we'll have to wait and see. But we'll have to cross that bridge when that time comes in a couple weeks for WrestlePalooza. And also, before I do get started, I did put a disclaimer in the live chat. As of this stream, I have not yet seen Monday Night Raw. I'm probably going to watch it sometime after this. I'm about to eat dinner, so I'm just getting this in before I eat dinner. So no spoilers about Monday Night Raw. Especially how this show ended. Making it a pretty good tease and getting my hopes up again about somebody making a return. And who that could be, we will have to wait and see for sure if that does indeed happen or not. Overall, my thoughts on Clash in Paris. It kind of was what I thought it was going to be. I didn't go in with the highest expectations. I was expecting like a safe, good quality house show type feel. No really big special moments, like I said, other than what happened at the end in the main event. That kind of teased something that, I've got my hopes up about here and there. I'm forced to believe it's possible now. But other than that, for the most part, the wrestling quality on this show was really good. See, a show like this, I think back to a show like TLC 2017 with the return of the Shield. That, well, of course, it didn't happen because Roman Reigns had the mumps back then, so that's when Kurt Angle filled in. And that show was like a show that didn't really need to happen, but it was a decent, I sat through it. With, of course, the match quality's improving. This is kind of like that same thing, but of course I give it a higher grade because it has, good match quality. Harmless show, not really boring, nothing really bad, couple little nitpicks, but it's a good quality show, but not one that I'm going to be talking about for years to come, if I'm being honest. There are a few decisions I'm still head scratching about. A very surprising decision as well. And I'm not going to lie, I'm also kind of surprised John Cena and Logan Paul didn't main event this show. Especially with the reaction John Cena got, for sure, in Paris. Again, I know I said that I was not a fan of how they just abruptly turned Cena back into being a babyface, but he has 8 days left. If he's going to be treated more so for, like, nostalgia right now, the crowd's going to be, showering him with love. I get it. I mean, I wish they would have at least had, like, a smoother transition back to it, but I get it. The only thing I'm still going to, gripe about, and this is me being so nitpicky, stop it with the whole black and white entrance and then his colorful entrance. Just do the colorful entrance. Like, the black and white into the colorful entrance, to me, worked for SummerSlam, because we weren't sure if this was all a ruse or if he for real was back to being the old John Cena. But after that, it's like, just do the colorful Cena. Like, let it just flow like that, in my opinion. Annoying, I know, a little nitpick, but just my opinion. But again, we're going to get in and talk about this show, because I am getting this in right before dinner. I'm also, for the first time in a long time, wearing my old Seth Rollins Burn It Down t-shirt, as when I was, because it's been like a lazy, like, pajama type day, basically. My wife and I have just been home relaxing. It's been a little bit of a back and forth weekend emotionally for us. Saturday, unfortunately, we lost one of our cats who probably had some kidney issues for a while, and she sadly passed away Saturday morning. Yesterday, my sister got engaged, so that kind of like made up for the back and forthness, but we're all doing good. But yeah, it definitely was a tough weekend for that happened Saturday morning. Kind of a weight off the shoulders a little bit, but it's never easy losing an animal. But I do, of course, definitely have enjoyed, like yesterday when I got together with some of my buddies and watched the show. It was a great time. And just a weekend just to relax and take it easy. My birthday's in a couple weeks. I had the week off for that. So good things are to come. Again, there's been some back and forth here and there. And again, definitely my cat being, sick, it was one thing that was weighing on my mind for a while. But now that she's resting easy with God, I can kind of rest to and move on as well. Just be there for my wife as well too. So I am going to, of course, get into the review now though, because again, I'm on kind of a limited time. Again, I might do Raw and SmackDown both recorded this week. Not sure if I might still try to do one. I don't know yet though. I'm not quite as a lot on my hands right now, but I still may just do it just so I can try to get a few other things done this week. So count this as my live stream for the week, as I still, again, try to go live at least once a week for you guys. And I like that. I didn't like when I was doing just lives for like pay-per-view stuff. I want to do one once a week just to interact with people as well. As long as, of course, I'm also, in the right mindset, in the mood, and not too tired as well. But anyways, I'm rambling. I got an active live chat. Let's roll in. Let's roll in though and talk about stuff in the live chat. We got Tyler saying, "What's up? I wouldn't tell you what happened on Raw." Okay, I appreciate that, Tyler. Thank you. Can we get the Street Profits away from WWE tag titles? They're taking an interesting direction with them. That kind of was a little abrupt. We'll talk about that in a second. The entrance set was cool. Oh, yes. The crowd and the entrance were the two best things about this show, in my opinion. I mean, the wrestling quality was great. Nothing, again, really like that, like outraging for storytelling for the most part. There's a couple little things I did like, but again, some things I'm just like, well, wait a minute here on this. But yes, that stage with the Eiffel Tower in there, beautiful. That was great. I really did enjoy it. Thank you for reminding me about that, Tyler. And we got Robbie One Kenobi in the live chat. Robbie, I meant to message you the other week, but I did give you a shout out on my stream the week of your birthday. But again, I hope you had a great birthday recently, buddy. God bless you again for another great year. And again, just thank you as always for continued support and friendship as well. He said, Mikey, after last night, which match would you say has been Logan Paul's best in WWE? Clash in Paris versus Cena or Crown Jewel 2022 versus Roman Reigns? I would definitely... My opinion, I mean, I was fine with the match last night. I was more intrigued by the callback. I mean, Logan, did his job as the heel in the match. But I feel like I kind of like this. I would say, if you compare those two, I give his match with Roman probably the edge on that one. as far as I'm trying to think, I feel like I may have liked another one or two matches of Logan's a little better than those, but I would still maybe give the edge to him and Roman. I would possibly. I would maybe say my favorite Logan Paul match still may be the one with him and The Miz. And I think because that match contended with Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns' Last Man Standing. It was a match that was way above what I thought that Miz and Logan Paul could do. That, again, I still, unless I'm forgetting something, I still may put that, I would say either that match or him and Seth, I would say, are my two favorite Logan Paul matches. But as far as those two, I'd probably give the edge to Roman and Logan. But last night's was good. I feel like the Logan wrestled maybe was like a little bit. He didn't do as many like crazy maneuvers as I thought. A couple, but not as crazy as before, in my opinion. But it was still definitely one of the stronger matches of the night. But I would probably give between those two the one with Roman, in my opinion. But good question there. It does feel like a house show. He thought so. The ending was good with Becky saving Seth. I know my wife, who's a big CM Punk hater, did enjoy that as well too. You know what show never should have happened? Great Balls of Fire 2017. Hashtag WWE Balls. Well, again, that show was actually good, but that title, God, and that logo made it worse. Definitely. End of Judgment Day. It's overstaying its welcome. It probably will once the whole stuff with Dom and Liv end, but I think as long as Liv is out, I think it's still going to continue on for now, unfortunately. But yeah, Judgment Day does have to end though at some point. Fire Logan Paul. Kingslayer. I still remember I was between this and the Kingslayer shirt when I bought this, but I like this design just a wee bit better when I bought it in 2017. And then Robbie also says, I will say I'm glad LA Knight didn't take the fall in the world title match last night. I agree. Yes. Look, LA Knight should not be taking a fall. Honestly, well, the direction you're going right now is going to have to wait. I would still say once you wrap up the stuff with Seth Rollins and CM Punk, you gotta do, I think we have to do a feud now that it looks like LA Knight has officially moved over to Raw, which I thought he needed it to. He basically ran out of options on SmackDown, so getting him on Raw I think was the right move. They kind of declared him and Sami Zayn as like a trade, even though I'm still not a fan of them giving Sami the US title. I'm happy for Sami, but again, I still feel like they gotta keep booking Sami as an underdog. And he's winning a lot of matches, so he doesn't feel like an underdog. They're making it too obvious. They want to go all in with him. But LA Knight, yeah, I'm glad he didn't take that pinfall loss last night. But I do think they should do a feud with him and CM Punk while they're both on Raw. Just saying. Maybe turn LA Knight heel, kind of getting a little flat with the babyface stuff, but maybe it'll be different. Who knows? But we'll see where that goes. But I'm going to get into the show now, talk about the 6 matches on the card. One that didn't happen that I said in my preview could be a possibility, of course, did not happen, because congratulations also to Cody and Brandy Rhodes on giving birth to their second child, Lilani, I can't remember what the name is, but Cody is still a girl dad, as he now has 2 daughters now. Congratulations to them. So, of course, that's why Cody Rhodes was not here, and kind of the reason why he was written off with that Drew McIntyre segment a few weeks ago. But it looks like they're probably going to save that match for WrestlePalooza, which, again, as I said recently, I'm not a fan of the pettiness in this WWE and AEW rivalry, but if it's going to force both shows to, play their A game, then I'm totally okay with this, with WrestlePalooza and All Out going head to head with each other. But yes, that did not happen. That match didn't happen. But again, probably gonna be saved for WrestlePalooza, and we will see how it goes. So, but anyways, let's roll and talk about the actual matches. We did open up with a match that I did think we would open up with Roman Reigns and Bronson Reed. Usually if Roman Reigns is not main eventing the show, normally he opens up the show. So I'm not surprised this opened up the show. Now the match was pretty good. I will say this, the fast forward to at least the finish, Roman Reigns won the match. I did predict Roman to win. I still think, though, that they should have given it to Bronson. It does still bother me that they lost, that Roman and Jay beat them in the tag match at SummerSlam. I don't like that Bronson Reed's kind of being the one who's, he's being treated as, the weakest link in the group. He's, the least priority right now, it feels like, in the division. And that's a shame, because I feel like sometimes when Bronson Reed did that beatdown on Seth Rollins, and the beatdown he gave on Roman after this match with Bron Breakker, we'll get that in a second, I get Samoa Joe, Shinsuke Nakamura vibes. When Samoa Joe was, when he lost the title to Shinsuke Nakamura in NXT, and he basically was causing carnage, and doing, crazy stuff, interfering in the show and whatnot. I get the same vibe from Bronson Reed. And, again, they could have given him, okay, I would rather have Roman lose to Bron than Bronson. Because when that happens, which I thought could be WrestlePalooza, but based off that beatdown, I don't think they're going to have it happen so soon. But again, I still have to watch Raw. So again, no spoilers on it. But when it happens, Roman has to take the pin against Bron. But it would have been nice to see him take it against Bronson Reed. I feel like maybe I wouldn't have been as bothered by Roman winning this match if they wouldn't have won the tag match at SummerSlam. You gotta give the rest of the division some more heat. Some more momentum with the victories. Despite that, though, I at least appreciate in some ways that they kind of made Bronson look like a little bit of an obstacle for Roman with the whole, where they tried to book Roman like an underdog in this match, which I kind of appreciate for giving someone else a Brock Lesnar type treatment, because there was 2 times where Bronson Reed countered the spear. He countered it with a drop kick of his own, and he also blocked him and caught him and went for a power bomb, which I thought was good. Roman in the loss, Roman still made Bronson look good, but it's also a situation where it's Bronson kind of needed that victory. I know the whole idea is probably for Roman to eventually get to Seth Rollins, which is another reason why I'm worried he's going to beat Bron Breakker too. I don't think that needs to happen. I do think if anybody Roman should not be beating, it's Bron Breakker for sure. Which again, could be WrestlePalooza, but based off of what happened after the match, maybe a bit till we see Roman Reigns. That might have been him getting... I keep thinking he's getting written off for, Game Changer, or whatever movie he's in with Cody Rhodes. But this could have been it. Who the heck knows? But afterwards, Roman attacked Paul Heyman with a guillotine. And then he grabbed the shoes and basically got the shoelaces untied. And he started signing them and tossing them out into the crowd, which I'm like, okay, this is whatever. But then out of the blue, here comes Bron Breakker, spears Roman on the table. And then Bronson gets back involved, and they basically just 2-on-1 Roman for quite a bit. They even did a couple tsunamis on him. Eventually, of course, they were taking them away, and then Roman was trying to stand on his 2 feet, but then, as I figured, Bron went gunning down at 25 miles an hour down the ramp and speared Roman again, and it was back on. And then Bronson Reed proceeded to also do a couple tsunamis on Roman while Roman was being put in the stretcher. He even jumped over a couple security guards thing at one point. Jey Uso got involved trying to help out. It didn't really play that much of an effect in the main event because Jey did still wrestle in the match, but he wasn't really that involved in the outcome of the main event either, so that was a wee bit pointless having Jey come out and help Roman and not really having much of an effect on the main event, just saying. But yeah, that beatdown was great. And of course that did cause Adam Pearce to eject Bronson, Reed, and Bron from the building. That's still hard to say, Bronson and Bron. And threatened that if they came back, they would be suspended indefinitely without pay. So Seth Rollins was on his own for the main event, or was he? So again, the beatdown was great. But again, the thing is now that Roman's beaten Bronson one-on-one, and now that him and Jay won the tag match, it's like these beatdowns are cool, but it's like in the long run, is it going to make a difference? You know, like I think I would have been a little more okay with Roman winning the match if they would have given the Vision the win at SummerSlam. Just saying. So, but that was the opening match. I still thought it was a great match. Again, I still thought Roman made Bronson look like a monster, even though, does Roman Reigns really work as well as like an underdog type character? He doesn't, but you know, it could still be a dominant Haas fighter or whatnot. But still a good opener. I again, of course, you can't ignore how much these foreign crowds love Roman Reigns with the Roman Reigns chants and whatnot. That was those were outstanding. But that was a great opener. The second match on the card was the tag team match, tag title match. The Wyatt 6 and the Street Profits. As far as the match goes, it was a fun match. It was a good quality, fun tag match. Like a typical match you would get from the SmackDown tag team division. I know, like, the characters and dynamics are off, but the in-ring quality for the tag teams on SmackDown is off the charts, I feel like. I do got a question, though. What was up? Am I missing something? But what was up with the abrupt, random, like, little miscommunication with Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins at the beginning of the match? Like, it felt like I don't know if I missed something on SmackDown recently, but it's like it kind of came out of the blue. Like this all of a sudden tension between the two of them. At some point they do want to give Montez Ford a singles run. And he's definitely going to be a main event star. We saw that in his performance in the 2023 Elimination Chamber match with the U.S. title on the line. Angelo Dawkins, I am still going to give credit to. He is improving as a single star. I think he could be a solid mid-carder once, the split does happen. But yeah, it was a little abrupt, but still a good match. The Wyatt 6 do retain, thanks to some help from Nikki Cross, and then off distractions, Uncle Howdy hit a Sister Abigail, and the Wyatt 6 were able to retain, as I expected to do so. Probably going to hold on to the tag titles until Mello Don't Miz. Or maybe Mello Don't Miz will get to the title shot, and that's where we will get the turn from Carmelo Hayes turning on the Miz. Because that's what they're set up for Mello to go face. But we got that match. That was good there. Alright, let's talk about the match that I already ranted about, that I was looking forward to, and still definitely was the worst match on this card. Although I will say it wasn't as bad as I thought, but, Match number 3 was the Women's Intercontinental title match, Becky Lynch versus Nikki Bella. Again, I'm still not going to lie, what also affected my excitement for this match, I'm still a little bit bitter that they didn't have something for Stephanie Vaquer on this card. Again, she was supposed to wrestle for the women's world title on this show. And I get it, Naomi got pregnant, things happen, I get it, plans change. My thing, though, again, is you had like 3 or 4 weeks to figure something out. Why didn't you have anything figured out when Naomi announced her pregnancy? And again, although I have nothing against Becky Lynch or the Women's Intercontinental Championship, I'm glad they're making that championship prestige. But again, I continue to ask, why are we putting more focus on that title, and then your regular women's world titles aren't really getting much attention right now? Or they're just like stuck in limbo, like we're getting Jade Cargill and Tiffany Stratton again for no reason, or Tiffany and Nia again for the millionth time. And again, you had like 3 or 4 weeks to still figure something else out once you found Naomi was pregnant, and you didn't. I know it was supposed to be something announced on Raw. Don't spoil it for me. But still, that was a little bitter for me. But also, again, just this storyline that that's just annoying me with Nikki Bella being brought back. And again, I keep saying, if the story is Nikki Bella wants to come back for one last run and see how she hangs with this generation, fine. But again, when they keep saying she's a trailblazer, a pioneer, she paved the way for all these women. Again, do you forget that the character 10 years ago, when they started this whole women's evolution stuff, do you forget that Nikki Bella's character was against all that? Like, Nikki Bella at this point just works better as a heel. This face stuff, especially with just all the other rumors about her right now that I don't even care to talk about, just bothers the crap out of me. But I would say I was close to calling this match solid. Nikki was trying some new things in there. I give her that credit. But then she botched that springboard kick. Oh, she swung and missed so bad on that. And Becky looked like she tried to sell for it for a little bit. When I saw that, I'm like, Becky, don't sell for that. She swung and missed. Like, pounce on her for at least to hide that botch. But, yeah, that was bad. But Becky Lynch does win the match of the roll-up. Let's move on from this. We don't need to see... And also, too, what's even the point? What else is Nikki Bella going to do? Again, she hasn't won a match, I believe, since coming back. I may be wrong. I thought I didn't think she beat Chelsea Green, but I'm sorry. Like, what? Why is she still? I don't know. Nikki's just giving me odd vibes right now with stuff I'm hearing about her personal life and this and that. I don't know. And again, I just hate how they're just like treating her so high above when again she's very overrated. So we're just going to move on from that. What I did like, though, also, was this good old-fashioned Donnybrook match. Yes, with Sheamus and Rusev. I do kind of feel bad, though. Rusev came out to literally no reaction. That's actually kind of sad, being honest. Like I said, I have been concerned, like, what Rusev is going to really do, because I just still feel like there isn't a spot for Rusev right now where he can go more beyond like what he's doing right now is what I'm worried about. Especially since you have two heel champions. Now, if he was on SmackDown, he could feud with Sami Zayn for the U.S. title for now. He had two decent runs of the U.S. title. His first one was definitely the better one, but still. But anyways, the match with him and Sheamus was what I was hoping for, with weapons involved, some nice maneuvers in there. My surprise, though, for sure, is not... Well, Rusev was my pick to win, and he won, which I'm glad he did. But I'm very surprised he won by one of the only few times it's happened. He got Sheamus to tap out. Yes, right. He got Sheamus to tap out. And then not just that, he kicked... So there was a spot in the match... Well, also... he was using the shillelagh as well to put pressure on Sheamus's jaw when it happened too. But what also my favorite spot of the match still, well, also we also liked when Sheamus did like the white noise off the top of those crates to the tables. That was nice too. But because this got me, I thought the match was over here when Rusev grabbed that shillelagh, turned around, and it was shot beautifully. That bro kick that Sheamus hit on Rusev. And you saw he hit it right on his temple. Literally, I thought Rusev was gone. But Rusev kicked out of that. I thought that was the match right there. And he finished it off. And again, Rusev got a nice, well-deserved win. My thing, though, is where do you go from here? If he's still going to be a heel, he can't fight for either of the men's singles titles on Raw because they're both heels. If he goes face, he could, but I don't know. We'll have to see what's next for Rusev. And, of course, for Sheamus as well, too, because that's a big loss for Sheamus. But Rusev needed this, I thought. So, a good way to put him over, sure. Especially getting Sheamus to tap out as well. So, we'll see, of course, where things go from here. All right. The match that I thought should have been evented the show, but didn't. John Cena versus Logan Paul. John Cena, again, got a very, very hero's welcome reaction in Paris. and the chance he got as well too. He took on Logan Paul. Again, the match was good. I wouldn't say it was one of my favorite Logan Paul matches I've seen personally. But it worked very well. Again, one thing I was worried about with John Cena going back to being the face is I didn't want matches like how Kurt Angle had in his final run in WWE. Again, those were awful. Honestly, if Vince was around, we probably would have had those with this John Cena retirement tour. But no, it was still a good showing. Again, there's also partially I was starting to feel tired. I was definitely worn out. I was, a little tired when these last two matches happened. So that kind of maybe affected it a little bit, but like it was still a good B+ match. And again, I thought John looked good. Still would say his best match either has to be the SummerSlam match with Cody or the Elimination Chamber match. I thought was his two best performances. But this one as well, I would say it was a very solid performance by Cena. He did do so apparently he said in the press conference, the post show afterwards, I didn't watch the post show, that I noticed Cena did a couple of maneuvers from other wrestlers, like he did do the Styles Clash that AJ Styles finisher is. He also did Baron Corbin's End of Days finisher as well. Logan Paul also did Cesaro's pop-up uppercut thing, whatever he called. I guess that was Cena saying that he knows he can't work with every single person he'd like to in his final run, but at least pay like tribute to those people as well. Which the one with him and AJ not being able to wrestle definitely stings. Again, I was hoping, and again, don't spoil it because I haven't watched Raw yet. I was hoping with AJ being popular in France, maybe they give him the Intercontinental title here, and then have him and Cena have a match for it. And have Cena win the Intercontinental Championship, as that's still a title he's never won. And it looked like he may never win it, actually. Which I'm surprised. You would think they would want to make Cena a Grand Slam champion. But surprisingly, though, John Cena does win the match clean. And no Brock Lesnar. I really thought after that segment on SmackDown, not this past Friday, but the Friday before, where Nick Aldis told him he just spoke with Brock Lesnar, and then Logan had knocked him out with his lucky punch or whatever he calls it. I really thought Brock was going to be appearing here and costing Cena the match, but he didn't. But we're probably going to get that set up probably on SmackDown this week. I can't remember, because Cena doesn't have many. Most of Cena's 3 remaining days, as of now, I believe. I know he has WrestlePalooza, Crown Jewel, Survivor Series, and whatever they're calling the December 13th show. That's 4 of the 8 days he has left. He doesn't have many episodes of Raw and SmackDown left, which is why I said earlier, him maybe being a face out of nostalgia may work better now, because he's not working as many like weekly shows. But so yeah, we'll see how they build that. But we all know that the main event of WrestlePalooza is probably going to be John Cena and Brock Lesnar one last time. We'll see how the match goes. I'm not going to, get too excited over it, but we'll have to wait and see. So there's that match. And then finally the main event, Fatal 4-Way for the World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins versus CM Punk versus LA Knight versus Jey Uso. Again, partially because I was tired when this match happened. It was a good match. Nothing really outstanding, though, really happened. I mean, I know there were times they were teasing that they were going to team up against Seth Rollins, but Jey Uso also got in the pep talk that, it's got to be every man for himself and whatnot. So there was a couple moments where, Jey was kind of breaking the alliance and whatnot. LA Knight and CM Punk had their occasional run-ins, but it wasn't as must-see as I thought it would be. I did like towards the end how Seth Rollins had that sequence when he was curb stomping everybody outside and basically put everybody but him and Punk out. And then right at the end where it looked like Punk was going to win though, and I made a prediction where Seth's gonna retain because a new member helps him. We kind of did have somewhat of a new member, I guess. I don't know if she's going to be officially being called a new member of the Vision, but Becky Lynch came out disguised at first, low-blowed CM Punk, and off of and off of that, and just happened to be there, Seth Rollins curb stomped Punk and head into a chair and got the victory. And we all know what that means, right? You got the hopes up there. Obviously, this feud got taken to another level, getting Becky Lynch involved in this. You gotta do CM Punk and AJ Lee versus Seth Rollins and Becky Lynch. I'm sorry, Again, that's the thing though, is I know WWE has kind of soured on their payoffs in recent months, but this is one you cannot fumble. Like, you set yourself up for this. You basically said right there, an AJ Lee return. Especially also, if you have Seth Rollins during the match, you hear him tell CM Punk, "I hate you and your family." You can't tell me with the wife of Seth Rollins getting involved that AJ Lee's not going to come out and stand up for her man as well. Just saying. So again, I still got to watch Raw. We'll see what happens, but that's my thoughts on Clash in Paris. Like I said, a couple things I nitpicked. Like I said, I'm still not completely a fan of Roman winning the opener, but I like to at least make Bronson like a monster. But again, Bronson's got to get a win. Again, the Street Profits just randomly teasing some tension was kind of random. I wish it would have transitioned that smoother. Again, Nikki Bella didn't do too bad against Becky Lynch, but again, that springboard kick botch hurt the match. I still would say it was decent, but the Donnybrook was great. I'm glad Rusev won. It's just what we do with him next. John Cena and Logan Paul was a great match as well. Cena's reaction, Cena's how the reception of the crowd was definitely great, and the main event was good, but I was hoping for more. But again, they planted a seed. Will AJ Lee come back? Again, the past two women's rumbles, I thought would be the time, but now they really, really got us wanting it. So will it happen for WrestlePalooza? We'll have to wait and see. So again, I give Clash in Paris a B. Again, good quality wrestling. Not much story development. Little bit, but a good show. I gave it a B. Pretty much what I expected it to be. Live chat. Before we go off the air, let's check the live chat here as well. You're at where Mark jumped in. Thank you for joining us, Mark. I'm not doing too bad, Mark. How about yourself? Do you think we're going to see AJ Lee return? Again, they put it on the table. They can't do what they did with The Rock and John Cena. They can't do that again. Now the crowd is, again, if the crowd was upset for The Rock not showing up for WrestleMania or even SummerSlam, I think if AJ Lee does not show up now, the crowd is going to be upset. You got to do it at this point, I think. So, I think we need... I'm not saying I think we're going to. I think we need to have an AJ Lee return here. Hope Samoa Joe goes back to WWE. I'd like to see it happen, but I don't think it's happening. Roman and Cody are both starring in the live Street Fighter. That's what it's called. Yeah, Street Fighter reboot. Thank you for confirming that with me, Robbie. Seth Rollins always has a plan B. Yep, and this time it was his wife. Mark said he loved John Cena versus Logan Paul and Sheamus versus Rusev Donnybrook match. Yes, those are two excellent matches. The women's Intercontinental match sucks. Now, I bet they won't Nikki doing anything. Like I said, what's the point for being there now? Again, the story she's telling is not appealing. Again, it doesn't make sense. But I've already ranted on that enough. I'm ready to move on from it. Hopefully they don't continue on this feud with her and Becky. Just saying. Nikki Bella has to be the worst return of 2025. Honestly, you might be right on that. She still has ring rust, or she never really was as good as they make it seem like it. Not saying she's horrible, but she's not how they make it seem like it. A trailblazer. I paved the way for Io Sky. Give me a break. And you can't even pronounce Stephanie Vaquer's name. Becky, you can't see him anymore. Again, and then zingers. Other than zingers like that, that's all this feud had. Take the zingers away, this feud sucked. I thought we were going to see Brock return after the Cena match. Me too. That's why I thought I was going to close the show, but didn't get it here. AJ Lee has to come back. Of course, Becky helps Seth in the main event. And we got to do Becky Lynch and AJ Lee 101. Come on, give me that match 101. If you want to have the women's title involved in that, fine by me. That be a match to do. Of course, if she's coming back, why don't we get AJ Lee and Roxanne Perez as well while we're here, just saying. But that might be asking for a lot. Who knows? If they do CM Punk and AJ versus Seth and Becky, do you think it'll be for both the World Heavyweight and Intercontinental Championships? I'd like to see that happen, but I think if they really wanted to do that, you'd have to get AJ into the ring a couple times. Because she hasn't wrestled in 10 years. Her coming back and just taking a title might not be the best, especially if she hasn't shown the world that she can still go in the ring. So, unfortunately, I would say at WrestlePalooza, that would be great, but not yet. But if they wanted to do a rematch down the line for it, then yes. But I think AJ has a little bit to prove first before that happening. Just my opinion. Or if not, then it'd be kind of the same thing. Nikki Bella's not won a single match because she got a women's Intercontinental title shot. Why? So, but that would be a great stipulation if AJ proves herself. Roman is coming back before Survivor Series with War Games. Is Survivor Series for sure going to be War Games again this year? I'm getting the vibe that they should take a break from it, but they still might be it again. But I don't know who you would get for the War Games match. I mean, definitely Seth Rollins and company, and if he adds on any more members. But of course, now that it seems Becky Lynch is going to be doing stuff on screen with him, they could make it a mixed War Games match. Just saying. I don't know, but yeah. But I'm going to call it a day here, guys. I'm going to go upstairs, eat a nice, delicious pot roast my wife made. Probably watch Monday Night Raw soon as well. Been watching King of Queens on Peacock most of the day. Great sitcom. Definitely check it out. And yeah, we'll see, of course, where we go from here with wrestling. And of course, when we'll be doing about watching pay-per-views down the line as well, since this is the last Peacock event. I don't have a subscription to the ESPN app right now or some of the others, but we'll see what happens. So, yeah, that's my thoughts again on Clash in Paris. I gave the show a B. What are your guys' thoughts on Clash in Paris for 2025? Okay, I gave the show a B. What was your match of the night? Leave your guys' thoughts again down in the comment section below. Slap a like on the video and subscribe for more content on my channel. And follow me on Twitter as well at the Club of the Man 93. You may also follow me on TikTok and on Instagram at the Club of the Man 1993. Until then, guys, I'm checking out. I'll catch you all later. Have a great rest of your night, and do not forget, in order to be superior to the man, you've got to be the man. And for I am the man himself. And that is not just an opinion, my friends. That is a fact of life. Yeah!